Hey everybody! Today we're focusing on the Meridian Stretches. Feel free to follow along, but keep in mind that these are the more advanced, full version of these exercises, and there's other ways to do them that have the same effect. If you feel too much strain or discomfort in any of these positions, don't try to force it. You're better off scaling it back and doing one of the variations. I didn't include any of the variations in this video, but check the link in the description for an article that I wrote that includes short clips of each one of them that you can use to replace whichever stretch in this video you have trouble with, so you can still do the sequence. Alright, let's get started. We'll start with a stretch for the lungs and large intestine meridians. You can stand with your feet about shoulder width apart and your toes pointed slightly outwards. Hook your thumbs behind your back and hinge at your hips. You want to extend through your fingertips instead of pulling your arms over your head. And once you've hinged at your hips to your maximum, you can let your head drop and relax. Focus on deep diaphragmatic breathing and hold the stretch for about 3 deep breaths. When you're ready to come out of the stretch, you can come back to neutral position on an exhalation. Next is the stretch for the stomach and spleen meridians. You can kneel with your heels out to the side so you're not sitting directly on them, and lay on your back with your arms overhead and your fingers interlaced with your palms facing the top of your head. You want to try and keep your knees together as much as you can, and it's okay if they come off of the ground a little bit. Try and keep your hips on the ground, and again focus on deep diaphragmatic breathing and relaxing everything that feels tight. Once again, you can come out of the stretch on an exhalation and move on to the next stretch, which is the one for the heart and small intestine meridians. For this one, I like to rock side to side a little bit first and press down on my knees, but keep your soles of your feet together and your knees pointed out to the side. Hold your feet, but don't pull yourself into the stretch. Hinge at your hips and let your elbows extend out in front of you. You're also trying to pull your knees down to the ground, and remember, hinge at your hips fully before letting your head drop. Hold the stretch for about 3 deep breaths and come out on your exhalation again. Now for the kidney and urinary bladder meridians, sit with your legs straight out in front of you. You can keep your knees straight, but if you have a hard time, you can bend them, and your heels should be touching, and the soles of your feet and palms of your hands should be pointing forward. Hinge at your hips before letting your head drop and hold for 3 deep breaths. Next is the stretch for the heart governor, or pericardium, and triple heater meridians. For this one, you can take a half lotus or full lotus, and whichever leg is on top. So if my right leg is on top of my left leg, then my right arm will be in front of my left arm. Hold your knees with your arms crossed, pull your elbows in towards your chest, hinge at your hips before letting your head drop, and then focus on your breathing. You have to do this on both sides, so make sure you switch which leg is on top and which arm is in front. And then once again, hinging from the hips before letting your head drop. Focusing on 3 long, deep breaths. And coming out of the stretch on an exhalation. Now these stretches can be longer or shorter depending on how long you make your breath, so it's really up to you. Next and finally is the stretch for the liver and gallbladder meridians. For this one, bring your legs out and open, but don't force them into a splits position. Make sure it's in a comfortably natural position. From there, you can interlace your fingers up over your head and lean your body over one of your legs. After you've finished hinging, you can let your head drop as well, holding for 3 deep breaths and coming back to neutral position on your exhalation. So you're pointing your palms at the ceiling, and if you can, hook the inside of your knee with your elbow to help keep your torso stacked over your leg. And you're really trying to open up as if you're trying to point your armpit at the ceiling. And finally, when you're finished this set of stretches, you can lay down on your back with your arms out and legs out to the side. Focus on a few deep breaths and feel what's going on in your body. Thank you very much. I'll see you next time.